Today, I'm going to be working on a larger size bag tag. This is the slim one. I think I did a video on this one before. So this is the regular size, and it's the same height, I guess, just that this is the slim, it's the regular, so it's about a third wider. And this one actually fits a credit card or business card or something of that size. It kind of looks like that there. The only difference on this one is I didn't stitch all the way around here. I just left the holes as some kind of accent. This one stitched all the way around the whole thing. So that's how they look there. So let's get started here. Let's see. Start with a pattern. All of my designs are the same. We start with the pattern and we're going to cut close to the line. Not on the line, but kind of close. The good thing about these is you can use these scraps. I'd say the best thing would be to use a vegetable tan leather. And if you have scraps of like veg tan leather, this would probably be the best. Um, However, you'd have to probably dye it or whatever. When I usually make these luggage tags, it's basically scraps of this kind of chrome tan leather here. And it's just left over from a piece, probably made a bag or something. And I actually have no use for this. I mean, I have made some things, I guess, with the scraps, something like this, like a little bag. But at some point, the scraps get so small that there's not much you can make with the, your scraps. And when that happens, probably the best thing to do is make some luggage tags out of them, because you can make use of all these scraps here. Mhm. Let's see. I normally use a strap cutter and cut long lengths and just take this and piece it out from there. But I guess you could put it on there, and so I'll leave this for the side. I might use a different color because I have a lot of end pieces that are long but of no use, and that's where I want to use this. It's probably why my luggage tags are different color, because I'm using scraps from something else. Anyway, let's get these ones here on and get it cut out. This part right here says do not cut out these little bird beaks, just cut straight. We're going to take care of that later. I mean, if you look at it here, it is kind of like that, but we're going to do that later. So this point, just cut straight on the line, just straight down. And that's going to pretty much be it. It's very easy. End piece is kind of wrinkled, but that's why we use the scraps to make this here. So this is going to sort of be like this. This is going to go there like that. This piece here, there's I guess a long side and a short side. The long side goes on the bottom. Just line it up right there. It's going to stitch like that. And it should be no problem. Let's move on to the next section. Got my hot pot back here. Now, not all the wax is melted, but I'm going to try it anyway. Getting the temperature correct is kind of important. If it's not warm enough, when you drop the leather in, it's just going to turn white and it's just going to harden on top of the leather and not going to soak into the leather. But this is very, very thin, so I'm not too worried. Now, if it's too hot, what's going to happen is it's just going to bubble in there. And when that happens, the leather will shrink and all crinkle up, and you may as well just throw it away at that point. So I'm going to start with this piece here. Yeah, I can tell it's not hot enough. Tiny bubbles should be popping out all over the leather when it's the right temperature. This is not quite hot enough to emit all the tiny bubbles. Just the air getting out. So I hope I got good enough saturation. Gonna find out for sure on the bigger piece here. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. See all those tiny bubbles coming out? That means it's a pretty good temperature right there. Didn't turn all white, so it's not too cool, I guess. It's warm enough. Probably helps that this leather is really thin. I think it's about a 1 mil, maybe 2 to 3 ounce. Vegetable tan, not vegetable tan, but chrome tan. Okay. I'm gonna put this away and I'll be right back. All right, it's been cooling for about 10 minutes now, so it's pretty stiff now. It's one of the first things to do now is to stitch this onto here. So there's a longer side and a shorter side. So we're going to line up the long side on the bottom. just like that. No, normally show the stitching here. Camera's not really set up for stitching, but I guess I might have to show on this one here. Hopefully, I don't really have the lighting or anything for this. Oh, it's going to bring the camera down to my stitching pony, but there's no lighting down here because I stitch on the floor. I have a stand-up stitching pony, so I have this very old, this is the first one I made, kind of a bench top one, but hopefully you can see this here. Lighting's not set up for this, this is so high, but once you get it in there, I kind of get these to be perpendicular, straighten it out, tighten it down, and just the heat gun or blow dryer or whatever. It's going to heat up the edges there. Give it a little squeeze. Just like that. Sort of like gluing. Once you get those, well, it's soft now, let it cool off and it'll get stiff. And it's pretty much like you glued it. Main thing is to get these holes lined up. Let it go here. Once you get it lined up, then just use the hair dryer or heat gun. Gonna melt that wax and then just press it together and it'll stick. Not as strong as glue, but it'll stick and then you can stitch it. So let me go ahead and stitch that up and I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I got that all stitched up now. So at this point, I want to put in the snaps here and here, and maybe put a little mark right there. Go take care of that, and I'll be right back. Oh, actually, I got this guy here. Let's find a buckle. I had straps of these cut out already, so I just put the template on there, well, the paper, and then punched out the holes. So how this is going to work is the buckle is going to go in here. So line up these two holes, crease that, buckle on that side, and I'll put the buckle on here, I'll put the two snaps, and then I'll be right back. Okay, here's probably the most important part. Actually, let me go and put this guy in here first. Let's see. Go cut this one out first. There. Right there. Looks like it fits. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so this part, the level, is probably the most important part. First thing we want to do is snap this together. Then we want this to line up with that. So I'm going to line that up first. Here so you can see. Once that's lined up, and put a crease right there on top, and then crease the bottom, and that should do it. Once you're happy with where the crease is, just tap it down. And let's round that corner now. So, I don't know how big a round you want, but about there. About there. Once it's rounded, now it kind of looks like the pattern with the little bird's beak there. So now we just got to burnish the edges. Only since it's waxed, we don't need toconol. Don't really have to sand it either. If it's just a little bit off, you can just go ahead and burnish it. It'll even out. So there's 4 holes. It goes in the second from the long side or the third one in. Then find out where it's going to be good. And just crease it right there. And it should stay just like that. So this is what it looks like. you're unhappy with the waxing or anything like that, you can just heat it up with the blow dryer or heat gun and then give it a quick, you know, polish. Take off some white. But normally if you wipe it down while it's still hot and get the excess off, there won't be any extra residue on there. That's what it looks like there. Here's the opposite, more or less. Not too sure if I think I like the ones with just the holes there. Not so much as it's stitched all the way around. So it looks inside. So if you have something like a business card or a credit card, it'll just go in there like that. And that's that. Here's the other one from earlier. And here's the slim one. So anyway, that should about do it. This is the regular size luggage tag. I guess luggage tag or ID or information, whichever. And this is the slim one. So